Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another installment of tone recreation on the Neural DSP Quad Cortex. And it is as what it says on the tin. This is where we take a song and we build a preset from scratch to try and replicate that tone. Today, we're doing something for a song that came out a few years ago now. I think I was in high school when this album came out. Is American Idiot by Green Day. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to recreate it. I do remember it. It has that kind of rocky chorus and verse. It also has like that. It had like some weird kind of telephone sort of like effect at the intro as well before the main thing kicked in. And what we're going to do is we're going to do what we always do. We're going to look up equipment that Billy Joe uses and see basically if we can replicate that on the Quad Cortex. Billy Joe's Equipboard, and he is a notorious gear whore, I guess you could say. Blues driver, and what we got here? I just kind of, depending upon the song, manipulate to get feedback or gain or whatever. But that is good to know. Marshall Plexi. We call these the Dookie mod and the Bradshaw gain mod. Okay, yeah, this is the famous Dookie tone. JSM 900 when Green Day recorded Kaplunk. Okay. Tremolo, yep, Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Marshall JCM 800. What's he using that for? It doesn't really say. Equalizer, I'm guessing maybe he's using that for American Idiot. That's good. We've got a graphic equalizer. Tube Screamer, I mean that's a given if you're using a JCM or something. The extra gain, he's using a Vox. Wow, okay, he's got a lot of equipment. What we are going to do is turn this into something on the Quad Cortex. We probably should listen to the song first. This song is still good after all these years. So I think I can get something close to this, possibly on the Quad Cortex. I think we have everything that we need to replicate this tone. So first thing that I always do pretty much for everything is, you see my other videos or if you built using the Quad Cortex, noise gate. You kind of need a noise gate, like it's a given. Now, he was using a blues driver, I think. What was he using? He was using the Boss BD2 blues driver. Okay, which is what we have. I'm going to wager that the volume is at 10 and we'll have a gain moderately at like 2.5. This might be too much. He might be only using that to push the amp a little bit further when he needs to. We're going to use the Brit 2203, which is the JCM 800. And for the cab, we're going to use a 412 to kind of get some air moving. And we want one of the 412 Brit, maybe the 60A GB75. I think this one's based on the Marshall 1960A that had like the Celestion G12 M25 drivers in there from memory, but I could be wrong about that. Let's just listen to the amp by itself. Let's see, firstly, can I even remember how to play this? So I'm using, by the way, my Charvel DK24 and standard tuning. Can't remember how to play that part. Back member. I'm actually really... That actually sounds pretty close already, I will admit. JCM 800 is perfect for that, but I think we need more gain, to be honest with you. The amp just needs to drive that a little bit harder. We may have to modify our tube screamer. We probably want a little bit more treble. It's a little bit more mid. And presence, I think we want to keep at 5. So let's hear how that sounds. From a perspective of like just playing that, let's see, go 3. Let's bump up the tone to 6. And maybe we'll reduce the level because we want the amp. Now we've updated the amp volume. We want the amp like to be the main driver. Don't wanna be an American idiot. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, so we have, I'm actually, you know what? I'm pretty impressed with the sound that we have. But once again, with a song like this, we've got the intro we've still got to do, obviously, but I think this song could benefit from some EQ. Now, I'm a huge EQ proponent. We know Billy Joe was using an EQ because we saw he had an EQ pedal. And I think for this song, we really want to scoop out some of that low end. So let's get like a nice little gentle part going here. Let's hear this. Okay, I can hear we still need a little bit more work. I think we need to drop from the 250 a little bit. Yeah, I think we need to go down maybe to 1. I like to kind of keep my dB cuts on my equalization as like kind of more even values. That sounds pretty good. But I think we need more adjustments. So I think around the 500 range, I think we could we'll start small, we'll do a 1 dB. And then around the 1,000, we'll double that. So, yeah. Just giving it a little bit more bite now. You can hear these, it's kind of like it's a little gentle wave we got going on here. And then at 2K, we probably do, let's go 3, 1, 2, 3. We should probably listen to that just to make sure that sounds okay. As you kind of start getting into the higher frequencies, you don't want to go boosting the wrong ones, but that actually sounds pretty good. I do hear that maybe we could either increase the 2K a little bit more. We could use a parametric with a higher Q size. Or we could probably benefit from bumping up the 4K just a couple. This is where it kind of starts to get, this is where it gets a little bit like you don't want to do too much because we're starting to get up into the higher frequencies. You increase them too much, you introduce a little bit kind of like scratchiness and undesirable stuff. But for a song like this, it's very, very bright. It's not like a dark, heavy song. It's bright. So you want to kind of boost the mid and the higher range frequencies a little bit. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. 8K can be a little bit tricky. Sometimes you never want to go on for this type of thing. I wouldn't go over 1, I don't think. But you can hear it's kind of like a gentle wave. If you can see that, it's kind of going like a gentle wave. Ride the wave. Okay, that sounds pretty good. At 16, we definitely do not want to increase that. If anything, we probably want to drop that by 1. And you can see overall our EQ here is actually really, it's nothing too drastic. We do cut the most from the 65, and we add the most to the 2K to kind of give it that kind of, gives it a little bit of bite and clarity, if that makes sense. I think that sounds sick. I think that sounds really sick. We've achieved, I mean, this is probably the record for the quickest tone recreation video I've done so far, actually. It's a very simple song, right? Like, you can even just hearing it without even if you didn't use an EQ, you could get a really good sound without even the EQ. But I'll show you what it sounds like. That. It's kind of got a little bit of like bassiness and boxiness to it, like. Now. You can really hear it on the... Goes a bit dull, goes a bit flat, but then... It just cuts through so much more. I think that actually sounds really, really good. We may modify the drive settings a little bit. I think what we have here is actually pretty great. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to gig view and we're going to call this intro, which sounds counterintuitive, right? But I'll show you in a second. Ref. Okay. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to replicate that intro effects. It had that kind of like, it had this boxiness sound to it almost, really. That's what you do. Basically, the way I hear it, and it could be wrong, we'll experiment, of course, is basically drop the high and the low end and then boost the mid, if that makes sense. That's just a theory right now, but I think in my head, that's how you would probably do it. I have done something similar where I replicated the intro to, I believe, a thing called Love by The Darkness. Similar effect where it's like... Yeah, that classic riff starts off like it sounds like that telephone effect. So we're going to use scenes for this, obviously. So that EQ that we've done here, we're going to reset that back to 0. We're going to try a little theory here. We're going to drop out. How does it sound? Oh. I mean... Come on, that like I literally dropped out 5 frequencies and I think it works. Like that was just my hearing, that's what I would do. Now, usually if we didn't already have this graphic EQ open, I probably would have opened up a parametric and it probably would have complicated things. Really, all you need is a graphic equalizer. As I was saying, you want to box the mid in. So I think that sounds really good. We should try and drop out the 4K as well. Maybe if we drop the 500 out too, hey? I don't know about you, but I think I like it with the 500 in there. And then maybe we boost the 2K a little bit. Okay, we've got a problem here. It's a pretty big problem, actually. I realized that I did not switch it over to scenes. So what that means is, basically what happened is I didn't set it to a scene, so I was actually modifying the existing one. Really, what I wanted was to have this EQ just for the riff. And then really either I can set all these to act to a scene, or can I set those to a scene? I think I can. We can just add in another graphic 9 EQ. We'll disable that. And then for the intro, we'll assign it to scenes, re-enable it, and we'll do that. So we got intro and we got riff. Okay, so the intro EQ, I think what we did was we did this. We dropped them all out except 500, 1, and 2. Maybe we need to drop the 2K out as well. Okay, so we want that. I think we want that too. I don't remember how to play it. It's like... Anyway, this isn't a Darkness cover video. Basically what we did here, to explain this real quick, I'm not a recording genius, but basically what we did was we boxed it in. So by that, I mean we dropped the highs and we dropped the lows. And we effectively, I think maybe we want to keep 250. Created this kind of like thing where the middle is like fenced in and the highs and lows are cut out. Doesn't get any better than that, does it? So let's say that. We should probably listen to the song, shouldn't we? I haven't been listening to it enough. I don't want to get copy striked. Hey, maybe the 1K boost here might be beneficial. You know what? Let's save this, just in case my Quad Cortex or Cortex Control or whatever crashes. That's good. Okay, so we've got an intro and we've got a riff. That's awesome. So... Alright, I actually like that, and I think now it's time to put the Quad Cortex to the test. So this isn't going to be perfect, and I actually don't remember really how to play the song properly. Also, I'm not going to be playing the intro with the telephone effect because it only goes for like half a bar or whatever. Really, really quick, and I don't have my Quad Cortex to easily switch over. But you get the gist of it. Like, it's a really simple effect. It's more the main rhythm guitar that we're after here, so... Let's play along to the song, and remember, we're just looking for the tone here. This is not a cover video, so... The chorus.
I'm not a part of a redneck agenda.
You know what? That song is still, it's still good after all these years. This song is what, 11 years old or something apparently? No way, it came out, surely it came out a lot older than that. Really, 11 years old, is that it? No. This song is old. I was in high school when the song came out. I think we did pretty well. Like, is it perfect? No. Maybe I even had the wrong pickup selection. Like, I was listening to it, I was like... 1 second. Switch between, there's so many different pickup selections on here. No, I think that's right. I mean, for what we got, it's pretty decent. And if you look at it, there's not much to it. So we'll go to gig view. This is the intro at the moment. You can see that we've got a mild little gain here of 3 that kind of just like colors it a little bit. A slight little push into the amp. Master 6. We've only got the gain set at 5. We probably could have gone up on the gain, I reckon. In fact, if we do that, we should probably test. No, I think 5 is good. 5 is good. So we got relatively, you know, calm settings on here, all things considering. 5 on the gain, 4 on the bass. Slight boost on the mid and the treble. Presence we leave untouched. And the masters, 1 o'clock, so that's 6. We're using the 60A cabinet. We've got an EQ on here, which kind of, as I was explaining, does a wave. You know, drop some in the low, add some mid in. Some of the higher frequencies we boost up. We drop at the 16. We could have actually also done like a low pass as well to filter out some stuff above 12K, but we didn't need it. This kind of music lends itself to having a little bit of noise in there because it's like punk rock, right? So it's going to be loud, it's going to be noisy. The intro, we actually turn that equalizer off and we do that telephone EQ effect. Where I'm talking about basically when I was listening to it and knowing that I'd actually done something similar before with that I Believe in a Thing called Love Song by The Darkness, you box it basically. So boost the middle slightly and drop the sides and you have this like, it's like a mountain when you look at it on the EQ. See, look, walking, mountain, flat ground. And that is basically it. Like we didn't really do anything on here. That's the beauty of punk rock, is that you don't really need to do anything to it other than, you know, have a good amp, some good gain, and maybe, you know, an overdrive pedal on there to push it. But largely that's it. And I think this video is going to break my own record for quickest tone recreation videos. So we're going to end this video here. But as always, let me know how I did in the comments. If you think I got close to American Idiot tone. If you think that there are things that I should have done that I didn't do, maybe I rushed through this video. I kind of felt like things just flowed naturally. Sometimes I do get stuck, like the Suicide Silence video that I did. I got stuck on that one for a while. I spent a solid 20 minutes just finding an amp to get the tone that I wanted. But, you know, when it comes to punk rock, you're not going to spend long getting a tone because give it a little gain, crank the amp, and that's really it. Like, we didn't even have to add the EQ into the riff preset, but we did because we just want to kind of like, we want to boost the middle a little bit and kind of, we want to make it punch through the mix. If you put this in a mix, it would sing, or even playing live. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions for things that you want me to try and nail next. I happily take suggestions for presets and whatnot, so just let me know. And before we go, I'll actually make sure this is uploaded to the cloud for you as well. So I'll upload this to the cloud now. That's all done. It'll be linked in the description of this video. Everything's public. And as I say, all my presets, that don't use captures or anything like that. It's all just on-device stuff. I like to keep it simple and accessible as well, just in case, you know, the capture goes missing or some other weird, funky things, as well as like showing you how to get the tone. And a lot of these principles would actually transition over to real amps and other modelers as well. So maybe this helps you get a tone on a Helix or a Kemper or whatever you're using. Maybe even an amp in a plug-in form or something like that. But I'm going to end this video here. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.